Metaphor of Aquarius. Imagine a small aquarium made of mirrored glass inside enclosed within another aquarium. The fish that are in the biggest aquarium can see what happens inside the smaller aquarium, but the fish are on the smaller tank cannot see beyond it. The smallest aquarium is the only reality of these beings. Imagine the largest aquarium contains salt water and anemones, crabs and all kinds of extraordinary fish. The smallest aquarium contains fresh water and goldfish. The smallest aquarium glass is getting thinner. Small amounts of salt water is seeping through the walls and goldfish are forced to develop very quickly in order to adapt to this changing environment. As the walls become thinner, the goldfish begin to vaguely see the largest aquarium beings. Some goldfish face the other fish as enemies and seek at all costs to defend your tank of an impending invasion. They see the anemones evil and accuse others goldfish being influenced by anemones. These goldfish hide their fear, creating a climate of terror around. Some goldfish conclude that the fish of the largest aquarium are controlling the aquarium them all the time. They consider themselves, and all other goldfish, poor victims. They assume that the creatures living on the other side of the glass wall have remained in the lower tank for the sole purpose of ever devouring them. As the walls of the lower tank crumble, they increasingly feel frightened. Some of the goldfish see the fish on the other side of the glass walls as sacred, upper and all-powerful beings. These fish give up your inner power and confused, oscillate between feelings of being elected and especially the feeling of complete uselessness. Try to interpret the hidden messages of their masters and base their actions and beliefs in these messages. They swim from one side to another in small aquarium, thus creating quite a stir with no lasting effect. Other goldfish see the largest aquarium beings as brothers and marvel before the miraculous variations used by the big fish to express. These goldfish know that the evolution of their species, the dissolution of the aquarium and even the reactions of fear, despair and sense of worthlessness other goldfish are part of the fins of the big fish. They follow the spirit of the big fish in each gill and each fin. They go into ecstasy as they prepare to swim in deeper water. The holographic bubble is thus dissolving, sometimes causing many parallel fusions arriving at a rate of tens of thousands per minute. Linear time is running out as it evolves into a simultaneous time frame now infinity. What is light? Message from Archangel Ariel. The linear space is expanding as it evolves to the simultaneous space, the infinite presence. The parallel mergers are very disturbing frequency, much vertigo, tremors, vision flashes and discontinuity of sensations. Based on the knowledge that the parallel merger that took place in mid-October 1994 would alter the levels of the light body of people and that these mergers could be so strong as to burst the bubble, an experiment was conducted. We stimulate the complex waves of subatomic structures to receive the waves of a higher dimension. This led the movements of subatomic waves in separate parallel to tune into controllable patterns of interference. The result was a slight increase in light shows and a small suppression of abrasive discontinuities. Holographic bubble was not destabilized, actually strengthened. This means that the final collapse will be much milder. Sync this complex waves of this reality with the waves of the higher astral plane and then with the higher dimensions. Dimensional transitions will have less impact and will be considered, in most cases, as dream experiences. Nevertheless, we all realize the change. We also want people to understand what is happening. Although we have as main interest not prematurely destabilize the bubble, we try to make the strongest experience in future mergers. As the spirit is putting them in a new position with respect to the rise, many are feeling that completed their mission in this plan. Let the old models and formulas themselves out freely. A new standard is under development. You may feel that they are better able to express or need to be more creative. There are two songs traveling by sound waves, which sums up what most people are feeling. All I want is to have a little fun, and I think I'm not the one, and start now, do not wait until tomorrow. What kind of fish do you belong to? At that engages in combat the enemy? They wielded the sword of light and are in the name of justice fighting the government's secret plans, the obscure and occult powers? Is this really the vision that you have of paradise on earth? They are concerned about the possibility of extraterrestrial dominate the planet? Do you agree with the views of reality according to which humans are unsuspecting victims or simply colonized source of food resources? As this view is consistent with the idea that every person is a teacher, broad and multidimensional, they will have you replace the link with the spirit himself by a bond with some guru, ascended master or channeled entity? The entire universe will be reorganized to accommodate the views you have of reality. What do you want, really? The spirit of you is changing posture with respect to the rise. Let the grace of transfiguration flood your soul. Follow your own beloved spirit, every breath of air that inspire and every step they take. Live paradise. When we look at you, we see them as great and multidimensional beings. There is only a little piece of you in this body, but he thinks he's all that. Some of you are beginning to sense that this is true. We watch you in all dimensions, in the grandeur that you are. In our view, for the simple reason are reading this message, you are workers of light and are here with a mission. Are here to help in the transition from earth to the light. You have done it numerous times and have become experts in it. This message offers them a model that describes the process that is taking place on this planet. This message is not true. It is not real because, when you're trying to describe a multi-dimensional, non-linear model, it is impossible to use human language. But we will try to do it the best way possible. If you sometimes feel a little confused, hold on tight, because the process itself is not absolutely linear. It is more akin to music. However, we can only present this in a linear fashion model. We tried to make it non-linear way and no one understood anything. We hope you can see the changes that are going through. We know that the mental body can say, oh, this is part of the 8th level light body, hidden fears will be alleviated. This information is made necessary because the fear level is too high, especially fear from the physical and mental bodies. If they know what's going on with you and discover that this is part of a coherent process, they will not think you are going crazy. Each time a planet moves toward the light, the process back home, where you gradually release the experience of separation, is expressed in a unique way. The process is different depending on the planet and the species that is rising to the light. This model relates to the human species on planet Earth. There are 383 other planets moving toward the light simultaneously, and most of you are incarnated in most of them. This planet is, however, especially because it has the highest level of separation from the source and is now returning to it. And the return is being succeedido. There is absolutely no doubt about the success of this planet back to the source and that there will be no apocalypse in this parallel reality. There was a time we were not so sure that this planet would be able to return to the source, but today we celebrate the certainty of safe return. A species may, however, rise or move to the light without the planet ascends. This is not the first species of this planet to rise, there were 4 other species before you. What makes this process particularly so extraordinarily wonderful it is the fact that the planet also be rising. He is a living, conscious being who agreed to participate in this game of separation under the condition of ascending when it was over. We would like to mention the excellence of the game at the time the planet back to source. The beauty of divine expression that we see in your faces when they return is entrancing to our eyes. Although you have moved away from the source, so that for us, it was just a short time, reunification is one of the most extraordinary energies of the universe. We hope that you can feel it consciously for yourself. As we exist in simultaneity, we have seen you pass the reunification and we hope to participate in the joy that feeling to overcome themselves. I would also like to add that the measures presented in our light body model resulted from the examination of the amount of adenosine triphosphate in cells. We measure the light body levels based on the changing level of the physical body. One can, however, have many levels of consciousness, and both your mind and your consciousness can go to many places. But what is rising is the physical body of it, and it is why we measure. We knew that if formal was this in a linear fashion model, and levels, many human egos get involved in the type games I'm more evolved than you or any other. Remember, please, that each level is different and essential. Neither is better than the other. Remember also that, by January 1995, no one on this planet, this parallel reality, was in the 11th or 12th level light body. Finally, we would like to thank you for being present on the planet at this time. You came here knowing they would have to sleep. They would have to deny everything you are, forget everything they know and become unrecognizable to themselves and to others. Though we fit the task easier, ever we go back the source or feel the separation from spirit. So we have great respect for what you are doing and we are honored to work with you.